After years of scrutinizing the closest star to Earth, a red dwarf known as Proxima Centauri, astronomers have finally found evidence for a planet, slightly bigger than Earth and well within the star's habitable zone, the range of orbits in which liquid water could exist on its surface. Researchers have already found hundreds of similarly sized planets, and many appear to be far better candidates for hosting life than the one around Proxima Centauri, known as Proxima b. But researchers are excited because the planet is just a stone's throw away from Earth, cosmically speaking. But what's so special about this newly found exoplanet? Let's find out. Welcome to Space World. In today's video, we are going to talk about the new Earth-like planet discovered by scientists near Proxima Centauri. So if you want to know more about it, then stay with us until the end of the video. The James Webb Space Telescope has successfully unfolded. It is now on its way to an orbit 1 million miles away from Earth, but the mission has only just begun. Webb, the world's most powerful telescope, will peer into the depths of our universe and is expected to make once-in-a-lifetime discoveries. Since the 1990s, scientists from around the world have studied planets that exist outside our solar system. The Hubble Space Telescope played a huge role in locating and identifying different types of planets, much like our own. With the power of Webb's infrared instruments, we'll be able to see many more exoplanets in even greater detail, from smaller terrestrial planets to Jupiter-sized ocean worlds and beyond. Webb will measure the presence of specific elements in their atmospheres to piece together what kinds of worlds have been littered among the stars. Talking about exoplanets, one of the closest exoplanets to Earth has been discovered by scientists recently, and it is called Proxima b. Proxima b was discovered in 2016 and is thought to be a rocky terrestrial planet, slightly larger than the Earth, that some scientists predict could contain liquid water. It orbits very close to its small red dwarf star, so it is likely to be tidally locked, with a permanent night side, according to scientists. According to scientists, if there are aliens living on the planet, then the civilization may deploy powerful mirrors or require very bright LED-style lights to illuminate their cities. They suggest that using the near-infrared instrument on the James Webb Telescope and looking for the telltale signs of LED light waves in the light from the planet and its host star, they will be able to detect this artificial light if it exists. There are several ways you could tell alien technology exists on another planet. For example, we might be able to see the light of a distant world waver with the transit of a massive constellation of satellites. Atmospheric pollution may be detectable from nuclear conflict. But while these indications of technology could also be caused by a natural phenomenon like orbiting debris or a comet impact, artificial illumination is distinct from the natural light of the stars. In other words, if Proxima b hosts a civilization, JWST would detect it, as Proxima b orbits so closely to its host star that it may be tidally locked, meaning that one side of the planet always faces the star, while the other is in perpetual night. Therefore, according to scientists, a civilization on a tidally locked planet may need to focus on illumination infrastructure, and could possibly use very bright orbital mirrors to reflect sunlight onto the night side of the planet, which could be seen by our telescopes. The newfound world has the compelling label of lurking in the habitable zone, but planets in this Goldilocks region of space, where the heat from their host star makes them neither too hot nor too cold to sustain liquid water, are not necessarily habitable or inhabited. Proxima b may have no flowing water, a prerequisite for life as we know it. On Earth, life flourished with help from an atmosphere and a magnetic field, the latter of which shields us from the worst of space radiation. No one knows if Proxima b has either of these. And so begins the effort to learn more. Ignis Snellen, a professor of astronomy at the Leiden Observatory, calls Proxima b the most important planet found beyond the solar system since the first 51 Pegasi b was spotted by Dieter Kalaus and Michael Mayer in 1995. This is the discovery of the year and possibly of the decade, Snellen says. Not only does it mean an Earth-sized planet orbits our nearest star, it implies that other such worlds are common. It will be our prime laboratory for the search for extraterrestrial life for the decades ahead. We have no idea whether life could exist on this planet, but the circumstances are likely to be much more favorable than on Mars, he says. In the language of astronomers, Proxima b is nearby, but 4.2 light-years away is 40 trillion kilometers. At the speed of Voyager 1, the only human-made object in the space between the stars, a spacecraft would take 80,000 years to reach Proxima Centauri. With new technology like the James Webb Telescope, that could potentially be halved. However, as the star is relatively small, this habitable zone is close to the star, meaning the planet is tidally locked, with one side always facing the star. There is also speculation that it is very unlikely life could develop on the day side due to a constant stream of intense radiation from its host star. Proxima b orbiting just 4.5 million miles out, or about a tenth of the distance Mercury is from the Sun at its closest point. Radio signals have already been detected from the area around Proxima b. However, radio astronomers believe this was likely just interference from natural sources. This raises a rather obvious question. Can it support life? The planet Proxima Centauri b orbits within its star's habitable zone, the distance at which water might exist in liquid form. Whether there is any liquid present depends in part on whether the planet supports an atmosphere, and that is a hard question to answer. If Proxima Centauri b had formed near its present orbit, it might have seen its early atmosphere blown away during one of its host star's more active phases. But researchers know frustratingly little about the evolution of red dwarf stars like Proxima Centauri. Furthermore, the planet might have formed farther out and migrated inward later, in which case the star's activity wouldn't matter. Since we can't reason out whether there's an atmosphere, the alternative is to look for one. This isn't as easy as it sounds. Despite being the closest star, it's still about 4.25 light-years away, far enough to be an observational challenge. In Search for Alien Life, an unrelated study also exploring the potential uses of the James Webb Space Telescope, suggested it could spot signs of alien life as soon as 2026. It has the ability to detect signatures made by living creatures, and Ohio State researchers say it could find life on another planet in under 60 hours. Graduate student Caprice Phillips said the results of her study show that we may realistically find signs of life in the next 5 to 10 years. Phillips calculated that James Webb Telescope could feasibly detect ammonia around gas dwarf planets after just a few orbits. So, are we alone in the universe? While Webb may not find little green men in Proxima b, the telescope is equipped to find the markers of extraterrestrial life. In addition, 124 light-years away from Earth lies exoplanet K1218b. Originally discovered by the Kepler Space Telescope, Hubble detected the presence of water vapor in its atmosphere. Now that Webb is mere months away from beginning observations, we could gain a more in-depth perspective of what K2-18b may be home to. According to NASA, more than 4,000 exoplanets have already been found, and Webb is sure to find more. And this is it for today, guys. What are your thoughts on today's video? Share your views with us in the comments below. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell icon for more amazing videos about space. And thank you for watching.